Well, how you doing there, everyone? It is Monday, May 15th, Magical Monday, right? Great start to the work week if you're working a normal schedule. Or maybe this is your first day off after working the weekend, long hours. Anyway, hopefully you're doing outstanding. I want to bring up a question that I really want to encourage you to discuss it below because we all have different opinions, we're all at different levels of investing, etc., etc., etc. So the question is, and you probably saw it in the title if I titled something like this, but when is the correct time to start paying off rentals? It's a serious question. I am not an expert. All the other YouTubers out there, Michael Zuber, Millennial Mike, Dion Talks, Coach Carson, Grant Cardone, anyone you talk to will have different opinions. None of them are experts. A lot of them will say they're experts. They may not say that word, but they'll come across like their word is gospel. Even Robert Kiyosaki or Ken McElroy, I think it's the name. They're all great people to listen to, but nobody is the know-all on any topic. Everyone has different opinions. You may have a whole bunch of people agree with certain opinions. That doesn't mean they're right. Okay? So I want to discuss, and I want you to comment below, hopefully, and hopefully you subscribe and click the thumbs up. When do we need to pay off rental properties? Before I get into it real quick, let me show you something real quick. Let me ask you this. What investment will do this? See that book? Second book, a little smaller. There's another one. Third book, a little smaller. There it is. What it is, I've had these for a while. They're annual reports from Eckerd Land and Acquisition for my mineral rights. We have some that are held in like an LLC, kind of like our names with the LLC, not our names, but that's the thicker one. And then the missus and I both have self-directed IRAs. What other investment does that for you? Every acre I own is in those books with information about them. They do it once a year. What other investment does that for you? Does your property manager send you an annual report on your rental properties? Does your stockbroker? They might send you something, but do you get annual reports from all the companies you own? If you own the S&P 500, do you get a big annual report covering all 500 companies? I dare say it's no. So with that being said, I'm Mazske Finance. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. So I'll give you my opinion on this. Please comment below with your opinion, okay? Because we're all different. When do you pay off a rental house? Okay? I've put a lot of thought to this almost ever since I first bought my first rental in January 2017. But I always came to the conclusion earlier, I want to grow the numbers first. I want to utilize debt to grow, and I didn't know how much I wanted to grow. Okay? As you heard me say, I went from 0 to 25 rentals in 4 years. Okay? I'm of the belief that majority of people, if they want to, can do the same thing. Or maybe we'll stretch it out 0 to 25 rentals in 5 years, 0 to 25 in 10 years, whatever it may be. But we can all do it in a shorter period of time than what you're currently thinking. Okay? But when do you start paying them off? At what number, or at what level do you start paying them off? That answer is coming clearer to me as time goes on, for me. For me. Okay? Early on in my journey, I bought a house inside of a self-directed IRA. I paid cash for it because I had stocks. That was enough to pay cash for it. So I took stocks from the brokerage account, put them in a self-directed IRA, paid cash for it. A year or so later, I bought a second house in the midst of the self-directed IRA. Did the same thing. Okay. So that gave us 2 houses that were kind of like completely paid off, but they're inside our IRAs. So it's not like we can go live in them or anything like that. Okay. But we're not paying a mortgage on them. Okay. And it was kind of nice because I see the rents just grow, and then I can take that money and buy mineral rights acres. Okay. But then what about ones that aren't inside our self-directed IRAs? Okay. Things happen where early on, during my course of the 4 years, 0 to 25, I had a deal presented to me that was one house for $18,000. I could buy it for $18,000. An investor started rehabbing it and ran out of money, so I got it for $18,000. It took about $5,000 to fix it up, and then closing cost, to buy it. So I say it was about 24. I think if I calculate it, $24,500 is what I spent to buy that house. Pay cash for it. Okay. As time's gone on the last 2 or 3 years, I've debated, do I try to do a cashback refinance on it? And I never did it. I never pulled the trigger. Okay. Now I'm of the mindset, I like having that house paid off. It's just one house. It's not the biggest house, not the best house, but it's paid off. So any rent I get in, yes, I got to pay the taxes, I got to pay the insurance, got to pay my property manager, got to pay for repairs, but I don't have to pay that mortgage. Okay. Then about a year and a couple months ago, I bought another house off the MLS. My plan was to do the BRRRR strategy and pay cash to buy because I had the cash, pay the cash for the rehab, and then do a cashback refinance. I did the rehab, paid to buy it, paid for the rehab. When I tried to do the cashback refinance, a couple things had happened. The lender had raised their minimum. They were like at $75,000. I had to refinance $75,000. They raised to $100,000. And my appraisal that everybody and their brother said should appraise at 100, 110, 115, 120, 125. And this was like going back 6, 7, 8 months ago, okay? Markets hadn't gotten all wacky like they have now. But the appraisal came in low, like really low, like really, really embarrassing low. And we protested. The lender protested. The people I knew up in that area is like, no way. Houses, they sell for much more than that. But what's done is done. We didn't get a second appraisal. It's done. So anyway, the house is paid off. Okay? So that's 2 houses. And then just last month or two, I paid off one of my seller financed houses. Okay, the mortgage balance was like $25,000 and some hundred, so I just paid it off. So now I got 3 houses that aren't in self-directed IRAs, 2 houses in self-directed, so it's 5 houses paid off. Okay, now I am looking at paying off another house, not today, not next month, but a process to pay it off, just a period of time. And I figured out which house I'm going to pay off. It's the lowest mortgage balance. So that would give me 6 houses. So the question is, when do we start paying off houses? My thoughts are, and we're all different, okay? For some folks, they want to get 4 houses and start paying them off. And they're still working a job, they're happy with 4, want to pay them off. Some might want to get to 10 and then start paying them off. Say it's somebody like me, and I was older than a lot of you. I was 49 and I bought my first rental. Okay, so somebody like me, say I wanted to ramp up the growth so I could retire from my job, and I got up to 20, 25 rentals, and that allowed me to pull the trigger to retire, to be financially independent. Okay, so I think at that point, I'll say for somebody like me who wants to grow, 20 to 25 is that magical number to then start taking a break, breathing. Start paying down some debt. Because you will hear YouTuber after YouTuber after YouTuber talk about leverage. Let's go full leverage. Let's mortgage stuff. Let's do cashback refinances. Let's get mortgages. Do this, do that. Utilize debt. Yes, I agree. We got to utilize debt conservatively, intelligently. But we're living in a time period right now. I've talked about storms. And somebody made a comment about, I'm generalizing here, when it all hits the fan, we just need to be nimble and adapt. It doesn't matter how much money we have. Okay, there's some truth to that. But yet, I don't think we're going to go, this may date me, you may not recognize this term, I don't think we're going to go to Mad Max world. Do you know Mad Max world? Mel Gibson movies back when I was a kid, I think. Mad Max. Google them. Mad Max world. I don't think we're going to go to that. Okay. Could we go to that? Sure. Somebody could push the button and nuclear bombs and we could go to that real quick. But I don't think we will. Okay. I'm an optimist. Okay. But I'm also a realist. So I think a storm's coming. I think it's going to get a little shaky. I think we're going to have a recession. I don't think we'll have a depression. I think a recession. I think lenders are getting scared. They're already scared. Okay, they're already changing the rules of the game for loaning. If I was utilizing a HELOC and I paid my HELOC off when I moved down here, and I could get a HELOC on this, I get letters from my bank saying I could get a HELOC on my house here. I don't want a HELOC. I think I'd be cautious about utilizing a HELOC right now. If I did use a HELOC, I would keep it small. When I got a HELOC back in 2016, I got it for $30,000. I'm conservative. I would get a HELOC and keep it small. It's what I would do. But I would, once I get to 20 or 25, I would start paying down some mortgages. Because why do we need to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger? Why do we need to risk and get not reckless, but why do we need to utilize debt to go to 30, 35, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80? Why? Why do we need that much money? I don't get it. I mean, I understand it's human nature. We want to get wealthy. But there comes a point in time we got to stop and smell the roses, right? We need to enjoy life. And sure, the more money we get, we can enjoy life even better. But I don't know. I'll just throw it out. Does greed come into play? Or is it a type A personality that comes into play? Am I lazy and I don't want to keep getting that much bigger? Will I get bigger? Yes, I will. I'm not planning to stop. I'm just saying I want to pay some houses down. I'm not saying I want to pay them all off, but I may pay off over the next 5 years, 7, 8, 9, 10, get up to that total amount. I may do that. I'm not sure yet. I may keep on going. I may decide I got enough. Or I may keep on going and pay off 15 of them. And maybe then I'll start, because I got some that are 30-year mortgages that I'll just keep on plugging away with them. I got, I might have 4.75% mortgage rate, which by today's standards, that's a pretty good rate. When I got it, it was kind of high. I got 5.15 or 5.25 on something. So when I got it, it was high. Now it's not too bad for investment property. So I may keep some of those out. I got like 7 more seller financing, and I got a couple I have one house with a mortgage balance with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage, and the balance is like $32,000 or $30,000, somewhere in there. I'm not going to rush to pay it off, but yet the balance is so low. I'll probably pay it off. Now, once I get it paid off, if society changes and interest rates drop, I don't think interest rates are going to drop for a while, possibly for a long time. I'm not sure. They might drop next year. They might drop. I don't think they'll drop this year. They might drop next year. They might drop 10 or 15 years from now. I don't know. I think prices nationally are going to pull back a little bit, okay? Because housing is not affordable right now for the average middle-class American. It's not affordable. Everywhere prices have gone up. Even in Virginia, where I moved from. If I was a police officer working there and I wanted to buy a house, it'd be hard to do. Could I house hack? Sure. Most people don't know about house hacking, meaning buy a duplex and live on one side and your tenant pays a mortgage, or a triplex or a quadplex. Why do I say duplex, triplex, or quadplex? Because a normal lender, normal times, will give you a mortgage form. Times are changing, though. Okay? So let me know below what you think. When do you start paying off your rental property? Do you need to go for 200 and never pay them off and just eventually you will pay them off? Or do you get to 10 and start paying them off? Or do you buy one and pay cash? Rich Carey was in the military. He bought 20 houses, paid cash for all 20 over a 20-year Army or Air Force career. Basically, it averaged out to kind of like one a year. He has said in hindsight, if he had utilized debt, he could have grown faster. But he was in the military. I don't know. He was an officer. I think he retired as a lieutenant colonel or colonel. I don't think he had a bad career. I don't think he hated it. I don't think he stressed about too much debt. He just paid cash bought 20 houses, paid cash for all 20. I've read stuff people criticize him, say you should have used debt. I applaud the guy. He did well. Something for you to consider. All right. So anyway, with that being said, this is long enough. Have yourself a great day. Talk to you again soon. Let me know below. Mazske, signing out.